So we will come back over here to our presentation. If everybody will just pop in the chat, done, that you have gotten to the scratch screen so that I know to go ahead. So just that you've got that scratch. Perfect. Waiting on a few more. I got Elise, Nolan, Brianna, Benjamin. Kira, let me know when you've gotten to the scratch screen. Kira, I know you were with us last week. Done. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to keep moving. So we're going to jump right into it today. So this is the tutorial on how we're going to create our game from scratch. So we're all going to create the same game, and at the end I'm going to launch a challenge. And the winner of the challenge will get a $10 Amazon gift card. So just be on the lookout. So how this will kind of work is I will play the video and pause it, and then I will hop over to my scratch screen and we will go through the pieces together. I think what I may do, to be honest, I'm going to try this right quick. Give me just a minute, guys. I think I want to change my thoughts on this. Oh. And y'all let me know if the video decides to be glitchy, please. And then if not, we may have to, well, it wasn't last week, so I better do the way I planned on it. Let's just do it this way. We'll just get started.
Hello, welcome to another Learn tutorial. Today we're going to be creating a dodge the falling thing game. So first thing we're going to do is going to click create, and there we go. And once our game starts loading, well done. We're not going to use Scratch today, so we're going to click on choose sprite from the library. And today, let's use Giga. Where's Giga at? Giga there, and we're going to use Giga walking.
All right, so let's stop right there and let's just find Giga. So we are going to, you do not care about any of this. Let's get rid of our agenda docs up here and close this out. So if you were with us last week, you probably remember this. So we want to get rid of Scratch. And we want to find a different sprite. Ooh, I'm struggling. Add a sprite. So down in the bottom right corner, you'll see choose a sprite. He did Giga walking. I don't know how this will play out in the end. I think the easiest thing sometimes is to search Giga. And when you search Giga, it should come up Giga walking. So for right now, let's just go ahead and use what he has suggested. So that we stick with being consistent.
She's going to walk about. So let's get Giga. And there's Giga. And we don't need Scratch. Let's delete Scratch. So here's Giga. And at the moment, she's a bit big. So let's just click on the shrink tool, which is up here. And let's make Giga a bit.
Okay, so now we're making Giga a little smaller. Again, I'm just going to, whoa, y'all don't care about parent emails either. Where is all this stuff coming from? Aye. All right, so he wanted to make Giga a little smaller. So for us, that button, I believe, is up here. Whoa. That opens Giga up. Well, that just is full screen.
That's the full screen button. If you want to change Giga's size, I recommend.
Now, we don't know exactly how small he has his set, and that always can be changed later. I'm going to go with, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to go with a 60, around there. Oh, somebody's trying to join.
Smaller, there we go. That's about the right sort of size. Good. Now the idea of our game is Giga's going to walk left and right, and she's going to dodge all the thgs that are falling from the sky. So let's start and make it look nice and nice. Let's click on the stage. Let's change the backdrop. Let's have a look for a black backdrop. There we go, blue sky. That will do perfect.
All right, so go ahead. Whoa. Oh, no, 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 no. It probably didn't save, so I may have to take it back. Sorry, guys. So now that he is wanting us to change our backdrop. Woo! My screen looks a whole lot different. Okay, so over here on the side, we're going to click Add a Backdrop. He picked the blue sky. Just going to stick with that one. Again, you can always come back and change those. And I will fast forward this. Give me just a minute. Super annoying. I think it's because I embedded it in my Google slide. All right.
She just got to avoid the falling thing. Now, at the moment, Giga's got 1, 2, 3, 4 costumes. Now that 4th costume, the head gets quite big. We don't need that, so let's just stick to 2 costumes. There he goes.
So he is walking through. This is something we didn't do last week. So just walking through the costumes, which I do not see additional costumes. Anyone else? So I wonder if we need to create 2.
I'm able to put costumes on mine.
Where's yours at? Where's your costume button at?
Right at the top where I see where it says code costumes.
Okay. So we automatically have 3, so we should be good. Or did he say 2? Does anybody remember?
He said he's going to stick with 2.
Okay, so we're just going to hit that trash button. And so I'm going to let the video play for a little bit and do 2 or 3 steps at a time so we're not constantly pausing because that will get annoying.
There we go, there we go. Good. She's got 2 costumes. And the first thing we want to do is we want to get Giga walking. Now, we could use the when space clicked and use a right arrow. And we could attach a moving thing. Where are we at? Change X. There we go. Change X. So we could do change X, and then when we tap that, it will make a move to the right. But if you probably heard on my keyboard then, in order to get to keep moving right, if I just hold the key, oh no, oh she does move right actually. Let's see if she moves okay. She does move not too bad, but it's a bit jolty. It's a bit jolty. So we're not going to use this this version, the event version. What we're going to use is the sensing version, and the advantage is that we can use something called a loop, and a loop there is a forever loop. It constantly checks. It constantly keeps repeating, and this makes it a little bit more sensitive. There we go. So we use a loop when we press start forever. If, let's have a look, if, there we go, and if right arrow pressed, we're going to move it to the right. Now, how do we move it to the right? Well, we use the X coordinates. Here on the screen here, your coordinate system, just like you've got in maths, you've got 2 sets of coordinates. In fact, you can see them down the bottom here. So here's my X coordinate, and you'll notice that if I put it in the middle of the screen, about there you go, your X is 0. If I move it to the right, your X increases. It keeps going up to 200. If I move it to the left, it'll go right down to minus 240. Good. So what we say is, if we want her to go right, her X is going to increase. So we need to change X. We'll do change X by, let's do change X by 5. So forever, so that's constantly checking. If the right arrow is pressed, then we'll change X by 5. Good stuff. And we'll right click on that if statement and duplicate. And there we go. So we've got 2 if statements. If right arrow is pressed, change X by 5. If the left arrow
Whoops, sorry.
is pressed, we change X by -5, and that'll move to the left.
All right, so let's go ahead and just make sure we have all that code right. You guys probably already have it. I'm toggling back and forth, kind of makes it harder. But sorry. Are you guys good on that? Do I need to stop and show you, or are you good?
Already created the
Can
walking
you show it?
controls.
Because I couldn't really see it.
Sure.
Yeah, can you show us?
Yep. All right. So let's do that. So the first thing is on my screen, we're going to go to Control and find our flag. We are going to want a forever loop. So we're going to drag one up. Well, maybe. Drag that on over. And then we're going to want a if statement. And so we are going to do if then. Our if thens look a little different than his. I think his is an older version of Scratch and they have updated it. So we're just going to pull, I believe, this one in, stick it in there. And then we're going to go to our sensing operations. I believe that's what he used. Key. No, that. Yep. Key, space, and pressed. And again, that is under sensing. And so we are going to drop it in that hexagon. We are going to drop it. Get in there, little booger. There we go. We're going to change that to right arrow. We're going to come back to our dark blue motion. Change X by. So this is a great connection for math and the coordinate plane. And he had 5. And then to duplicate that, he just put his cursor over that block and put duplicate. And we're going to stick it right under there. Change this to left and this to -5 because we want it to go the opposite way on the number line. So your text should look like that. All right, I'm just going to keep on keeping on unless I hear you guys need me to slow down.
Let's see if that works. If I press start.
Oh, wait, I didn't test mine. Let me test mine right quick. Okay. And I test mine and he is scooching over, my favorite word. And if I'm doing my left arrow, he is not. So let's see if he addresses that. If right arrow pressed, then change. If left arrow is pressed. I wonder if it's my keyboard. Let's see.
You might have to tell us what to do again because I don't remember what you said.
Which part?
When you first started, you said dark blue and then
Okay.
something.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I've got wrong.
There she is. She's moving left and right.
Hang on just a minute.
But as you can see at the moment, although she's moving, she's not actually.
All right, let's stop it there. All right, so I'm going to go back to my screen. So they are color coded. So these light blue, if key right arrow pressed, is going to be under sensing. So you'll click on the light blue and it is right here. Key space pressed, you'll drag it over and change it to right arrow. And then change X by is under motion because that is a motion we are doing. And so you'll plug change X by. See, I got somebody had their hand up. If you need, feel free to unmute and ask your question. That is perfectly fine.
I don't see the key left arrow thing from on mine.
Okay. Does your screen pretty much look like mine?
No, I have the yellow stuff on.
Okay, so over on the left, do you see different color buttons?
Yes.
Here. All right, so for that key right arrow pressed, you're going to click on the light blue, and it's going to take you to those buttons. And then this one, key space press, is what you'll drag out, and you'll change space to right arrow. you'll change that part.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
Now, I've got to troubleshoot my code because my little feller, oh, that should be changed. No, left arrow is pressed, change it by -5. It didn't work. Did anyone else's not work?
It works. Yeah, mine works.
Well, boo. See, let me reset him. Come back, little friend.
Then I scratched at my old school.
I beg your pardon. Oh, you did? Awesome. I do not know why. He isn't, though. Mine's not walking left. It's bothering me that I can't figure it out. Okay, we're going to keep going. If yours is moving left, then we're doing something right. I'll troubleshoot my code in a minute.
Actually walking. She's not animating at all. So what do we need to animate? Well, if we click on costumes, she's got 2 costumes. And if you watch, if we swap between each costume, if you look at her as she's going, it sort of looks like she's walking, which is pretty cool. So what we do here is we go on the look section and next costume. That's the perfect. We need 2 of those. So, and the way we do it is just put next costume inside of those. There we go. So if the right arrow is pressed, we change X by 5 and we switch to the next costume. If the left arrow is pressed, we change X by -5 and switch to the next costume. And now,
all right, so we'll go ahead and add that into our code. So again, this is looks, and so we will click here. And next costume is right there. We will add that block in to here. So I'm going to pause for a minute, make sure you guys are good with that. I'll tell you something else I'll do that helps on the video on your screen. I take a picture of his code on my phone so I can have something to compare it to. I think that helps a lot. Oh, wait, I've got something wrong. This needs to be connected to the blue. So make sure your purple block is right up under your change X by. And I do not know how to get mine to reset. That button should do it. But examining my code and make sure I have everything correct. I think I know what's wrong. Now I see it. Give me just a minute, guys. I'm going to try and troubleshoot my if then. Oop. Dang, man, but I thought I had it. There we go. Caligan did it. Perfect. So I had my if-then statements not hooked correctly, which was the problem with my code. So just remember that if you guys start to struggle.
There we go. Let's just move her up slightly. There we go, Giga. There you go. It looks like she's walking. Maybe just move her slightly down. There we go. So now we've got Giga, and she's moving left and right, which is great. Good. Now what we need is we need to have some falling things here. So let's have a look. Let's click on a new sprite. And what should we have falling on her? Ooh. Flower shape or tennis balls. Oh, loads of things. Let's have a beach ball. Let's have a beach ball for it.
All right, so you're going to add your sprite. So I'm going to pause right there. I've got to get Giga down where she is. So we're adding a new sprite. And you can be creative here with what you want falling from the sky. He obviously was looking at the different things that would make sense. So I'll give you a minute to pick your thing. Don't spend too long on this right now, though, because you could like look at these forever. So I'm just going to search. I was going to do tacos, but I guess that wouldn't make sense. I'm going to do a tennis ball. All right, so go ahead and make your option.
Miss Caligan,
Yes.
I did the walking sprite and I did the code right, but if I press the right key or the left key, it doesn't do anything.
Okay, are you clicking the green flag at the top? You have to click the green flag at the top first to run your code.
Oh, it works now.
Ah, there you go. If your Giga is not on the ground, here where you see X and Y, you can change this. Like right now, I'm like that. Someone needs to mute their mic. So I changed my Y right here to -150 to bring her down to the ground, or him, or Giga, or whatever we want to call it. I don't know, is Giga him or her? I don't know. So anyway, if your Giga is floating up here in the sky, go to your Y while you're clicked on Giga and do negative, and it will bring you down to the ground. So I'm going to assume at this point we're good. So I'm going to keep going.
So let's click on the beach ball. Good stuff.
Ooh,
excellent. And the beach ball is going to be falling down. Good stuff. A little bit big. Let's click on the shrink again. Let's make the beach ball a bit slower. Good stuff. There we go.
All right, so this is going back to how we need to make him smaller, which we did with, or your ball or whatever is falling through the sky. So for my tennis ball, I'm okay with that. I am going to click and move him up. That's the other thing. So as I'm moving, if you notice, the X and Y is changing, but you can click and just move it up. So if you need to make it smaller, right here is a size button. I can change from 100 to 90. I can change whatever you want it to. Okay, so that's how you change the size. Because I think you were a little late joining.
Can you go back to the looks, because I don't know which one for the purple one we have to do.
Sure. So you're wanting the code. So all right. So if you click on Giga, is this what you're referring to?
I'm for the last two, for the
Purple block.
And
Sure.
the change by.
Sure. So here's my code. If you can see it on my screen, you're going to click on the purple looks block, and you're going to click next costume. So that's where I found that right there. And you're going to put it right under change X by. So you're going to do it twice. It needs to fit right up under there, if that makes sense. So change X by 5 and change X by -5. All right.
And beach ball. Well, how's this going to work? Well, here's our beach ball. There it is. And we want it to fall from a random location up here. But let's have a quick go. So let's have a look. So what we could do is we could say, well, when start clicked, here we go. All we do, again, do another forever loop, because it's going to keep repeating. And we can just say, when we press start, so look, we'll start at the top. Now, what we'll do here, set our Y coordinate this time, because we're not talking about what's across. We'll change our Y coordinate. If I will set it, and what will we set it to? We'll look at the Y coordinates here as I move it up, about 180. There we go. Let's set Y to about 180. So now, when we press start, we'll set Y to 180, which means it doesn't matter where the ball is, it'll just move it back up to the top. Perfect. Great. Brilliant. Good. Set Y to 180. Now, in the X coordinate, whether we want it here, here, we need to move it to a random position. Well, what random X? Well, look at the X coordinate. It's got to be somewhere between, there we go. If you look down here, somewhere between -240 and +240. So all we do here is we set the X coordinate to, and we use the random function. Pick a random. There it is. And that one's going to be somewhere between -240 and 240. There we go. Let's have a go. So now if I press start, each time I press start, it goes to a random position. Good. So what's going to happen? Well,
all right, let's pause there and make sure we have our code blocks right. So here's the thing. Just remember, you have 2 sprites now, and we are working on your falling object, whatever you selected for that. So you need to click on your falling object to make sure you're doing the code in the correct location. And so I'm going to walk through the buttons. We're going to go to Control, and whoa, where did it go? I lied. We're going to click on Events when flag is clicked. Now we are going to go up to Motion. Okay, set X. He did Y first. Let's do set Y2. Okay, and then this is where he looked at his coordinates. So my X and Y are changing. For mine, and ours may be different depending on how it's set up. I'm going to set my coordinate. My X is at like -170. He did 180, so I'm going to try his to see if it works, but I may need to adjust my numbers. Okay, so set Y2, and I put 180. Now I'm going to go grab set X2, which is right there. Okay. And then he went and found the random, because we want the falling object to go in random places, or you'll know how the game will work. So we're going to click on Operators and pick Random. And then here he plugged in -240 to 240. And I will see if that will work on mine. And then he has a forever loop under there. I don't know if that's probably for the next thing, but I'll go ahead and stick it under. So now when we click our flag, so there goes my tennis ball. So I know my code works. So I'm going to stop there and see if anyone has questions. You can go ahead and unmute and ask them if you need to. London, you have your hand up. Are we
I
good?
figured it out.
I beg your pardon?
I figured it out.
Okay, perfect. Right. Anyone else have a question before I keep plowing through?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still on the first part, but it's not working.
When you click the green flag, your Giga is not going back and forth.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there has to be a problem with your code. So what I would say let's do is keep going, and at the very end, you and I can stop and troubleshoot together.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Something has to be wrong with your code if it's not moving, would be my guess.
Okay.
So just remind me at the end, and we'll go back and try to troubleshoot that part together.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
As it's falling down, that's okay. Here you go. We need to make it fall down. Every second it needs to go down a bit. So all we need to do now this time is we're not changing the X coordinate, just changing the Y coordinate. So we're going to change Y by, well, let's have a look. We do by 10. Is that no good? No, that's no good because it's going the wrong way. So it needs to be -10. There we go. And now if I press space, there you go. So brilliant. Boom, there we go. Brilliant. Good. There we go. So it falls down, but what we want to say now, of course, that's a pretty boring game, because when it reaches the bottom, what we want to do is go back up to the top and then move to a random position. So what we can do here is just use another if statement and put it inside the loop. Notice it won't go outside the loop anyway, but it needs to go in the loop, inside of this block. So this one is eating the one inside. There we go. And if what? If it's, let's have a look. Which one of these controls up and down? Do you remember? It's the Y coordinate. Look at that Y. And about -180 is a good one. So we can say if his Y position is less than, that's less than, by the way, less than, equal to, greater than. There we go. Same as it is in maths. If his Y position is less than -180, maybe that will work. Then, in fact, we'll do 170 -175 because the floor is probably about there. -160, -160 because that's where the floor is, isn't it? So if his left position is, if his Y position is less than minus 160, then we move him back to the top. So his Y coordinates goes back to here. Let's just duplicate that again. His Y coordinate goes back to the top. There you go. And look. So now
let's pause there and try those
constantly
steps. Got a lot there to add on to. So I'm going to come back over here and walk you through where to find your next thing. So now we need a change Y. So we're going back to motion. Change Y by. So I'm going to pull that out. It's going in the forever loop. So make sure it's in there. He did -10. We'll start with his and see how it works. My little dude over there is just a falling down. And then after that, he pulled an if statement, and the if statements are in your control. So he did an if then statement, not if then else. So it's this top one, if, and he stuck it right underneath that change Y by. Okay. Just making sure everybody's good. So now underneath that if statement, we need a green, it looks like. And he did the greater than. So make sure your symbols are right, greater than, less than. He is pulling out this block and dropping it in the hexagon. And I know he did the whole cut and paste thing, but I'm just going to go back to finding Y position, which is in the top under motion. Maybe. Oh, there we go. That might have to scroll down. There's Y position. And we're putting it right there. And I believe that says -140. -140. And then set Y2 should already be right here in the same block you're in. Set Y2. We're going to slide it right there. We're going to set that to 180. Positive 180. Look over on my right. The ball is just dropping nonstop. And then we're going to do a set X2 right here. And we're going to stick it right underneath there. Go back to our green operators and do the pick random. Oh, whoops. I got to put... Oh, we're going to stick pick random in there, right? Yay! And then we're going to do -240 to 240. And so now if you look over on my right, it is consistently falling in different locations every time. Do you guys need me to wait a minute for that, for you guys to catch up? Or are you ready for me to move on? I'm going to take silence as golden. So I'm going to move on. Oh, stop my poor tennis ball. He's going to get worn out. And let's see what his next steps are.
Falling, constantly falling. Good. Brilliant. Perfect. So there you go. So there we got a nice falling ball. And that's moving down, 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 down. Brilliant. But having one ball is a bit boring. Really, we want to have two balls. So why don't we duplicate it? Right click on the beach ball.
So now let's see how many duplicate.
Duplicate. And now, oh, this is.
So now he duplicated one. So where your sprites are, just right click. Oops. And click duplicate. So now when you run it, you have two side by side. And they're all going by the same code, right? So they're all going to slide together because the code is telling them to pick the same random number, which I'm sure he's about to walk through in a minute of how to change that. In fact, I know he is because I watched.
I have a question.
Okay, London, go ahead.
How do you, I don't really know how to duplicate it because I don't see any button that says duplicate.
Okay. So if you will go down on your screen and click, are you using like a ball to fall?
A ball.
Okay, click on the ball so that you know it's kind of highlighted, and then right click and it'll say duplicate. that work?
No.
So if you're on your Chromebook, it'll be a bottom right click, I think. I wonder if you can Control C it. Nope, that doesn't work. Were you able to do it?
I'm trying to, but it doesn't.
So does your screen look like mine in terms of the layout for Scratch?
Yes.
Okay, so on the tennis ball, it should be outlined in blue, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and when you right click, does what pops up on my screen pop up on your screen?
No.
Doesn't say duplicate, export, delete?
No.
You've got something changed.
Like, do you have to like right click on the touchpad?
Yes.
I'm right clicking on the touchpad.
Okay, what about a bottom right click?
I'm right clicking on the bottom too, on the touchpad.
So let me think. Yeah, because you're gonna need that. You must have a setting on your mouse pad changed for how to click. Anybody else have a suggestion? I'm not sure. The only other thing I would know is you would create a whole new sprite. So you could always go down to the bottom and make another tennis ball and copy your whole code, but that's still going to be a right click duplicate. I don't have any other suggestions, I'm afraid, unless you want to try and Control C. I don't know if you hold Control and hit C and it won't work either, copy and paste. We might just have to wait and troubleshoot that at the end. So what you might have to do is go and add a whole nother sprite to a tennis ball and drag that code for the first tennis ball into the second one. That's the only thing I know to do. I don't know how else to duplicate other than right clicking.
I'll just do that.
Okay.
It's getting a bit hard, isn't it? There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So now we've got two balls and they're both moving down at the same time, which is okay. But really, we don't want them both falling at the same time. So really we want to fall at a different sort of time. So how do we do that? Well, what we do here is each time they fall down, in fact, we'll do it at the start. So let's go. Let's do a little bit of a wait on one of these balls. 1 second, that should do it. Let's try that. There we go. In fact, we'll put the weight below.
Hang on, I missed that, sorry.
And they're both moving down at the same time, which is okay. But really, we don't want them both falling at the same time. So really we want to fall at a different sort of time. So how do we do that? Well, what we do here is each time they fall down, in fact, we'll do it at the start. So let's go. Let's do a little bit of a wait on one of these balls. 1 second, that should do it. Let's try that. There we go.
All right, so what he did is, it really doesn't matter which sprite you want to use the code for. I'm just going to do tennis ball 2. He went to Control and found a wait button. And let me go back and see. He put his wait right under the flag. So we will find wait 1 second and stick it right there. So that way when we run our code, so I'm going to do 2 seconds to see if mine is better. Yeah, I did 2 seconds. So I think that was a little better for me. So make sure you have your wait button in there.
In fact, we'll put the weight below that set the Y, so it goes to the top before it waits. There you go. So there we go. Perfect. So now what we've got here is, oh, we've got 2 balls that are falling. Great, brilliant. So what we're going to do for the rules, and of course you can add another one. Should we add another one? Duplicate. There you got 3 balls now. That'll make it even harder. There we go. Oops. 3 balls. There we go.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the sprite. And I want to change, like I want him to fall even at a different time. So I think I'm going to do this one, like wait 3 seconds. And click my flag. Okay, I don't. Ooh, that's going to be hard. And then I might even push it to like 5. See what 5 does. We're just going to play around with it a little bit. All right, I need to get, Sorry, give me just a second, guys. I want them to start. Let's see if that makes a difference. There we go. I had to move them up to the top. So now they're different. And you could duplicate as many as you wanted to.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. That's a little bit hard, isn't it? So now what we've got is 3 balls that are falling. And the idea is that if he gets hit, every time he gets hit, he loses a life. Every time one of those balls hits the floor, he gets 1 extra score. Once he loses all his lives, once she loses all of her lives, then the game's over and that's the final score. So the first thing to do, the easiest thing to do, is to do the lives bit. And all we have to say with Giga here, let's do another loop with another when start clicked forever. There we go. In fact, actually, what we'll do now, we won't do it on Giga, it's going to have to do it on the ball instead. So let's just delete those spare balls for the moment because we want the same code. It's very easy if we redo the code on one and then duplicate them in a minute. So what we do here is we do another loop.
Why did he just do that?
To do the easiest thing to do is to do the lives bit. And all we have to say with Giga here, let's do another loop with another when start clicked forever. There we go. In fact, actually, what we'll do now, we won't do it on Giga, it's going to have to do it on the ball instead. So let's just delete those spare balls for the moment because we want the same code. It's very easy if we redo the code on one and then duplicate them in a minute. So what we do here is we do another loop. There we go. In fact,
I don't know why it's doing that. It's his video, not mine.
Here we go. Do another if statement. This time we'll put this one below here, and we'll say if touching Giga, walking. If touching Giga walking, then we change the number of lives by -1. So which lowers the number of lives. But we haven't got any lives yet, so we need to create some lives. Now, how do we keep track of the lives? Well, anytime we want to keep track of something that changes in the game, like the score, the number of lives, the player's name perhaps, what level they're on, we need to put it inside of a variable because variables vary. So what we do is we click on make a variable, good stuff, and let's call it lives. There we go.
All right, I'm going to pause right there for a second. And let's make sure we do several things that he did there. So coming back to our screen, he deleted these and now is clicked on the one that is left. Making sure I have that right. So now we are working on the code for the ball that is remaining over here. And so what he did was added a touching Giga walking button. And so that's going to be under sensing and under touching. I think it is going to be this top one, touching mouse pointer. And he slid Oh, I need an if statement then. So let's go back to control and do another if then. I'm sure and stick that is attached right there. So it's super important that your if then statement is not right under this blue X statement, that it's kind of adjoining it under there. And then we'll drag this into that spot. And then Giga walking is a selection to click on right there. So again, that's a sensing button. Touching mouse pointer is what it's going to say over on the left, but you'll change it to Giga walking once you drag it over. Nolan, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I completed the game.
Okay, well, we're not quite there yet, so we're trying to walk everybody through, so just hang tight.
Got it.
We're going to have it for all the sprites because all of these sprites are going to be able to use it. Sometimes we do put it just that one sprite can use it, but the lives are going to be used by all of it. So lives, and at the moment, well, what we need to do is the start of the game. So let's put that inside that beach ball, set lives to 3. Good. So set lives to 3, if touching Giga walking.
All right, so let's just kind of hop backwards a little bit. So we have to make a variable for this one. So coming over here where it says variables, when you click on that, you're going to click make a block. No, make a variable. Let me make sure I did the correct one. I don't want to miss God. Let's see what he did.
The changes in the game, like the score, the number of lives, the player's name perhaps, what level they're on. We need to put it inside of a variable because variables vary. So
variable, make a variable.
Click on make a variable, good stuff, and let's call it lives. There we go.
All right, so now that I got that all firmed up, coming over here, we're going to click make a variable. We are calling it lives. And it popped up in the bottom and the top.
Is lives for all sprites?
Yes.
We're going to have it for all the sprites because all of these sprites are going to be able to use it. Sometimes we do put it just that one sprite can use it, but the lives are going to be used by all of it. So lives, and at the moment, well, what we need to do is the start of the game. So let's put that inside that beach ball, set lives to 3. Good. So set lives to 3. If touching Giga walking, change lives by minus.
All right, so let's do that first one first. Set lives to, and he put that up under the green flag. And let me make sure that was on the tennis ball and not on Giga's. Yeah, he's on the tennis ball still. So set lives to, we're going to drag right up here. And we are setting it to 3.
Swan. Good stuff.
And so next he's doing a change lives underneath touching Giga walking. So change lives by will go right in here. And we will do -1 because when you get hit by the ball, then that needs to be, or the ball hits the ground, it needs to go down by 1.
And we also need to go back to the top, right back up to the top. So, actually we need to go to a random position as well. So really we could just duplicate those two, couldn't we? There we go.
All right, so you can duplicate or you can go back and do set Y2. I'm going to walk you through just how to go ahead and do it since I know somebody's having trouble duplicating. But you can, for those of you who want to duplicate, you are just doing, what is that, set Y2 and pick random. Is it to set Y to 180? So here you can just right click and click duplicate and see how it duplicated that with your cursor, and you can just slide it up under the change. If not, you'll need to go to your light blue sensing blocks and drag out set Y2. I'm sorry, your motion blocks. Click on the dark blue and you will drag out set Y2, which is right here. and you will put it underneath that change lives by -1. And then you'll do change x2 and put it underneath there. And then you'll go back to your green operators and do the pick random block to drag over. Benjamin, that's fine. I'm recording the session and I'll post it online for you to watch later. He said it was having internet issues. Idalise, you have a question?
Yes, for my grade, it's our lunchtime. What do I do?
You can stop if you want to and come back and watch the recording later. And also you have the presentation that you can keep and watch this video later.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Okay, let's try that. Hopefully this will work this time. So if touching Giga, oh, there you go. Yeah, lives is 2, lives is 1, lives 0. Ah, there you go. Perfect. Lives 0. But of course, when
Okay, I need to test mine because I don't know if I have all that arranged right quick. So now, whoop. Oh, yep, mine works because every time I get hit by the ball, it goes down to 0. So at least I know that part. Oh, -1 lives going in the ground.
our lives gets to 0, when lives gets to 0, what we need to do is stop the game and display game over. Now we're going to do that on the stage. Good. So there's our normal backdrop there. Let's just duplicate that backdrop. And there we go.
So first things first, go ahead and duplicate your backdrop, which is over here. Right click. Whoops. Ooh, I don't have a duplicate button. I'll just add it again. Weird. Oh, I do. It's just not showing. Oh, I know. Up here on the left, you have to click backdrops, I believe. So then once you click backdrops, there's your 1 and there's your 2. So you could have right clicked and duplicated here. Our screen is just a little different than his.
Do that again, please.
Sure.
Because I didn't get to see it.
So over on the left where we have code, that's our main code screens. Click on backdrops and you should have a backdrop 1 that is blank, a blue sky. And so if you right click, you can click duplicate and get your second blue sky.
Stuff. Brilliant. I'm just going to use the text tool. Let's use the text tool there. And let's put game over. Game over. Go click over there. Let's make a nice big game over.
All right, so now we are just going to, which text backdrop was he on?
There is no background button.
Yes, there is somewhere. If your screen, he's on the second one. So up here on the top left, it says code backdrop sounds. You're clicking on backdrops.
All I have is code, costumes, and sounds.
You're running a different version. Are you in Scratch or Snap?
Scratch.
Huh. Over on the right, underneath it, where it says stage, do you see backdrops?
Yes.
Okay, have you added a backdrop, the blue sky backdrop? If you came in late, you probably missed that. You have to click that blue button where it says choose a backdrop and pick the blue sky. Does that work?
Yeah, but it only shows one backdrop.
Okay, now look back up at the left, and does it say backdrops again where it says code, backdrop, and sounds?
Yes.
Okay, so now click backdrops and you can duplicate. It won't recognize that you have a backdrop until you add one.
Yeah, now it says backdrops.
Okay, so now you can click on the 2 and add another one, duplicate it and add another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then insert a text box on the last. So after you duplicate that text box, on the last one here, you're going to insert a text box with the blue T and just type game over. And you can make it bigger.
Okay.
There we go. Brilliant. And there's our game over screen. So it's blue sky, and then it's going to be game over screen. There we go.
All right, so he renamed his screen, and I'm sure there is a significance to that. So here up at the top where it says costume, he named this game over screen. So he renamed it up in the top left where it says costume. So it will have a name.
And let's get rid of that white one. We don't need it. So when we press start, we need it to be on that line, that level. And then if the lives falls down to 0, then we need to change to game over. So good stuff. Let's have a go at that. So on the backdrop, when we press start, there we go. The first thing we do is switch to not to the game over screen. We want to switch to blue sky, which is the main one. Let's just try that. Good stuff. Yep, well, it works. And then there we go. Wait until, that's a nice easy one. Wait until lives is 0. Lives equals 0. There we go. And we'll switch the backdrop to the game over screen. Good stuff. Excellent. So let's try that. Let's have a look. She's got 2 lives. She's got 1 life. She's got 0.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do that code together. Let me, again, I use my phone to take a picture and go back to my screen since I'm toggling. So we want to make sure that we are clicked on the backdrop because we're doing code for the backdrop. Okay, so over here, I've clicked on stage. On the top left, I've gone ahead and clicked on code. So I'm going to go to control and do my flag screen. I'm sorry, events. When flag is clicked, we are going to go to our purple operator, switch backdrop to blue sky. Then we're going to need a wait under the control keys, wait until, which is down towards the bottom, the little hexagon. And then we're going to put a green operator in, which is blank equals blank. Okay, so even though this looks like a, oh, come on. My computer's doing something strange right now. It's like loading a update or something. There we go. And so in that first one, we are going to go back to variables and find our lives and plug it in. And we want it to be equals 0. And then back on looks, we will switch the backdrop to the game over screen. Okay, I've got some hands up.
I accidentally deleted.
What?
I accidentally deleted my ball.
You usually can, there's an undo button usually. Hang on just a minute. Let me stop my game. Up at, if you go to file in the top, oh, nope, edit. You might can try restore sprite. I don't know if Command Z will undo your last. That's the only way I know to do it other than having to redo it. Nolan, did you have your hand up? No. So London, that's the only thing I know to do is either edit and restore sprite or try to Control Z is usually an undo function on your keyboard.
I pressed restore, but the code is gone.
Mm. Oh, right click. If you can right click and click undo, you might be able to undo the code. I don't know. And I guess that's actually a really good teaching tool because if you go ahead and name it at the top and save it every so often, it probably will keep that from happening. Like if I save now. So we might all want to do that.
I'll just have to rewatch the video because
Okay, that's fine. I'm
I
gonna
just-
load it up on the CCG STEM site. I'll load the video as soon as it's done saving this
Okay,
afternoon.
Perfect. Now, as you probably noticed, the ball is still moving. We don't want it to still move, so what we can do is we can use this stop all. There we go. Stop all. So that should now stop all the scripts.
All right, so now we need to add the stop all to stop the scripts. So back at control, stop all. So that means when game is over, it will stop. All right.
3, 2, 1, game over. There you go. Perfect. Good. So that's good. And then we've got the lives. So the next thing we really want to do is we want to increase the score. Increase the score. Now, increasing the score is nice and easy. Let's. We need to first of all create a new variable. This time it's not going to be lives. It's going to be score. There we go. Score. And our score at the start, we set our score to 0. So set score to 0 because we score to 0. And in here, it's every time it touches the floor, then we're going to, so every time one of these goes down to here, then we get a point. So that way we do it is we put that in there. So every time the ball hits the floor, we change the score by 1. So let's see if that's working. Good, we've got score 1, score 2, score 3, score 4, score 5, score 6, 7, score 8, score 9. There you go.
All right, so let's go ahead and change our score. So we are going back to, I believe he was on his tennis ball right there, or baseball or whatever we call that sprite. So we're going to click here. And so what we are adding is 2 blocks, set score 2. So we're going to go to variables. And it'll say set lives to, but we're just going to drag this right under here and click here. Let me undo that. Yeah. I didn't do something right. Go away, little block. Trying to get my block out. Let me stop over here. Maybe that has something to do with it. Here we go. That's what I need to move. So I guess he created a new variable. So let's make a new variable and name it score. And now we should see it. That's what I forgot to do. And now we'll plug it under here and change it to score. All right, and so then the next one that needs to be done is again underneath the first one, set, we're going to pull that set lives to and change it to score in a minute. And it is going right underneath set x2. And we are doing change score to 0, and down here is change score to 1. Oh no, we don't want 2. I goofed. We don't want, so here's the problem. I did change score to 1. We want change score by 1. So over here on the side where it says change lives by 1, that's what we want to go right there. Change score by 1. So big important difference there.
Perfect. Good. So we've got a score, we've got the lives, good stuff. That's perfect. Good. So we've got a game that's working now. That's nice and easy. Now, when we get the game over, let's have a look. It's perfect. And that should do. Should we add? Let's add some sound effects, shall we? Here we go. On the beach ball, let's add a sound. And let's play that one. Oops, what does that one sound like? Perfect, a popping sound. So a popping sound. What we're going to do here is sounds, popping sound. Every time the beach ball hits the floor, it's going to go pop. So sound, play sound. Every time it touches the floor, we go pop. And let's add another sound. And that'll do. This is any. Oh, I don't like that one. That'll do. Beat, bass, beatbox. Brilliant. Good. And now we can say every time it touches the floor, play sound, bass, beat, bop. Okay, so now.
All right, so coming back to adding our sounds, make sure you're clicked on your ball. Going to go to the sound, and he play sound right here. Nope, play start sound. I'm thinking it should be. We're going to try this one. I don't know if this one is correct. And it slides under here. And then when you click here, these are your sounds. Over here on the top left is your sound for your library. And give me just a second. And then he did play sound at the end. Let me go ahead and get that in. Ah! You can record yourself too, by the way. What I'm trying to figure out is how he got to his library of sounds. Okay, obviously that works. Oh, right down here, there's a choose a sound button. Let me go back right quick. So we might have to do that here. Let's just try it right quick. I learned by doing. I add a sound. Here's all your different sounds. Okay. So then after you add your sounds on the left, if you go back to your code, when you click here, there's what I just had. So I could change it. So the bottom line to that is you have to come to sounds, bottom left, click choose a sound, and add the sounds you want to pull from in your code so that when you go back to your code, you can pull from your sounds. All right, London, question? Okay, Nolan, anything? Okay, we're almost done. I know this has been a little longer than planned, but.
If we press play, hopefully. There we go. And that keeps on going, good stuff. There we go. Perfect. Brilliant. There we go. Brilliant. And oh, let's just actually, yeah, there you go. So every time it's me, makes that horrible sound, and then game over. Good stuff. Good. Brilliant. So there's your basic game. You can stop there if you want to finish there. It's all working. But what can we do to improve it? Well, first of all, we could, let's duplicate the beach balls. So we've got 3 balls that are doing. There we go. There we go. And what we'll do.
So right now he's just walking through how you can duplicate it. I'm not going to do that in mine, just in the interest of time. But if you duplicated it, how it would work
is, let's add a bit of a weight. Let's do 1 second. So if I went over 1 second, we'll do 0.3.
So he just duplicated his beach ball because it has all the good code in it.
Add a weight in there. 0.6 seconds. Good stuff.
And I'm like, no, hold on a minute. Because if you have.
That's more like it, isn't it? Perfect. There we go. Oh. So, which is okay. So now we've got 3 balls. And that's starting to get a bit better. But what can we do? What can we do? Well, to make it harder, what we could do is we could say every time you get to 100 lives, then every time you get to 100 lives, 100 score, then it speeds up a bit. These things fall a little bit faster. So how could we do that? Well, let's have a look at it. Where's the falling speed? Change, there we go, change Y. At the moment it's set to change Y by -10. So what we could do instead is we could get that to change by a different amount. So, but in order to get it changed by a different amount, we need to have, again, a variable. So let's make a variable.
Okay, so now I have to pause and try it. So hang on just a minute. I'm going to duplicate like he did. We are going to variables. That's pretty cool though when it gets to 100.
And let's call it speed.
All right, so we're creating a variable called speed.
Falling speed. Full speed. There you go.
Full speed. I just said speed, but.
And there we go. Full speed. Good stuff. And at the start of the game, let's set this full speed to. Let's go with 5. There we go. 5's okay. Good.
Wait, where did I messed up? I was reading Nolan's text. I'll get you in a minute, Nolan, and tell you how you can get it made.
Call it speed. Falling speed. Full speed. There you go. Full speed. Okay. And there we go. Full speed, good stuff. And at the start of the game, let's set this full speed to, let's go with 5.
All right, so set full speed to, and it's going at the beginning. Set full speed to, and I just did speed, and he said 5. Okay, and then we'll keep going.
I guess 5's okay. Good stuff. And what we do, here's the clever bit, is that we put this full speed inside of the change Y. There we go. Oh, that's -10, isn't it? Sorry, -10. Oops, -5.
Change Y full speed. So 2 corrections. Change. So this he did -5. And then, hang on, I didn't take a picture. You put change Y by ball speed. Change Y by. What did you do? You just drag this into here. I don't think I did that right. Oh yeah, so mine's just called speed. So yeah, so underneath forever, right here, you just take the button, if you called it fall speed or speed, and pull it over to change Y by speed.
There you go. Full speed by -5. And let's just drag that full speed into there. And let's do the same with that.
Oh, okay.
Full speed. So now,
so then on his other 2 balls, what he did, I don't think he added the other, but he just added the speed. Change Y by and did speed. And change Y by on this one. Speed. Okay.
Got is, there you go, -5. That's quite slow. And we got -5 there. But what it does mean now is that if we set something in our program, so let's say change full speed by -5 there, what it means is every time we run this bit of code here, our balls are going to start to speed up until it's a crazy speed. We don't want to do it by -5. What we'll do is, let's do it by, how about every time a ball touches the floor, let's change it by -0.
So he's going to do a decimal.
So each time
0.1.
it's going to get a tiny little bit faster. Let's see if that works. Each time it touches the floor, which is that one. Let's have a look.
Change full speed by 0.1. So now underneath that last beach ball, what he added was change. Oh, missed it. Play sound pop. Okay, so change. And he put it right under there, that first purple orange. change speed, and he did by -1, and that he just did -0.1.
So we start off and we're going really slow. Good stuff. And look, if you look here, you can see that that full speed is slowly but surely speeding up as we get more balls. So let's see how well I do. Here we go. And you can change that amount over here for the full speed, how much it changes by each time, so that it could go, you know, starts off and it goes up in increments of 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 or 1 if you're really crazy. Should we try it on 1? Let's have a look. Let's change our full speed to 1. Full speed. There you go. So now it's changing by 1 each time. So let's have a look. Oops. That's to be -1. Otherwise our balls are going to stop moving. Here we go. Let's have a go at that. So now it should start to speed up really quickly. Oh, I think 1's probably a little bit hard, isn't it? Whoa. Oh, this is more like it. Well, this is quite hard to get. Well, brilliant, perfect. So maybe -1's it high, maybe 0.5, but you can experiment with that. Also, you might want to add a sound so that when it does game over, it makes a sound like a da-da-da-da-da or something like that. Or you could do different balls. You could also add some code to make the balls spin. Loads of things you can do with that. But there's a nice, easy starting game for you. Right, good luck and have fun scratching.
All right, so that took a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to, but it was pretty cool. So Nolan, I saw where you said if you had your own account, you know, that would be clutch and awesome. The only way to be able to create that account again is going to be if you have an email address, a parent email that can verify it for you or something like that. But yeah, that's the best way to get an account. Thank you. I'm glad y'all liked it. I was a little worried that people wouldn't follow along. I know some people left. So again, don't forget the challenge. If you want to try and take this project and just tweak it or tweak the code to make it a little different. I even thought about making, rather than dodging the balls, that you were trying to collect them, like use a sprite, play around with the sprites, create your own game. I'll give you a week from now to next Friday. Click on that Google form. I'll paste it on the CCG STEM website and give me the link. All you have to do to get the link, for those of you who are new, is on your right here. All you have to do is file. Just kidding. Make sure you save, guys. Make sure you give it a name and save it. Save to your computer, or over here you can export your code somewhere. Where is it? Oh, share. You can click share and share your link in that form, and the winner will get a $10 Amazon gift card. You guys have any questions? I got another live session with some high schoolers in about 3 minutes. So got about 3 minutes for questions.
I was gonna ask, I didn't get the game over. Like, how do we make it wait until what? Like,
you're not getting the game over screen?
No, I see, because I had everything. I didn't finish the wait until, like, I didn't have anything in there, so that's
Bye, Miss Caligan.
All right, the wait until, I'm trying to figure out. So you would need to go to your backdrops, I would think.
Yeah, I'm there.
Hang on.
Bye, Miss Caligan.
Bye, guys. See you next time. Be on the lookout for our next session.
That was so fun. Also, am I supposed to be in this class in the first place?
This is completely optional. So I just had your teacher share this out because I think it's a neat way to do some different things during virtual learning.
Yeah.
So every Friday, every other Friday, I'm going to host a session of doing something different in Scratch. Eventually, we're going to work into creating our own writing code. But just be on the lookout on the CCG STEM page and on social media, and we'll share it with your teachers.
All right. Thank you.
And here's the wait block, if that helps.
All right.
Other than that, guys, I'm going to post this recording. So if you need to go back and watch it again, or if you just want to go back and watch his YouTube video, all you have to do is search create a Dodge game in Scratch, and his video will come up and you can play it on your own.
Bye, Miss Caligan.
Bye, guys. See you next time. I just need to stop recording.